Welcome, everyone. First, I hope everyone is healthy and safe and doing what they need to do to stay that way. My name is Andrea Ray, and I have the pleasure to serve as the President CEO at the Chamber. And on behalf of our board and staff, thank you for being with us here tonight. It's an honor to welcome you to our 32nd Government Affairs and Public Officials reception. As we begin our gathering, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that our event today, although virtual, is taking place on occupied Coast Salish land, and the Seattle Southside Chamber is on the homelands of the Duwamish people. We pay respect to the Coast Salish elders, past and present, and extend that respect to their descendants and to all Indigenous people. Thank you. This copyrighted webinar is presented by the Seattle Southside Chamber of Commerce and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chamber. Thank you so much to our sponsors who help make this event possible: Amazon, the Boeing Company, Baker Commodities, and South King Media. So again, as we bring up our Burien panel and begin to launch our next poll, you can choose what local issue is of top concern to you in Burien, and those issues are crime and public safety, homelessness and encampments, the DESC facility, impacts of SeaTac Airport, COVID business recovery, and King County vaccine verification. So again, everyone, please feel free to continue to vote while we go into our lightning round questions. Again, just a reminder, everyone has 2 minutes to answer an icebreaker question and also introduce themselves and talk about their campaign. And we will go in order by position and alphabetical, which means that Hugo Garcia, who is running for Burien City Council position number 1, will get the opportunity to go first. We'll go ahead and put that 2-minute timer up there for you, Hugo. And your question is, if you had to teach a class on one thing, what one thing would that be?
Thank you so much for the question. Really humbled and excited to be here in front of the business community here of South King County and Burien. I'm running for Burien City Council position 1, and I'll quickly answer the question to say that I would love to make sure the class that most impacted my development was home ec class, because home ec taught also how to balance a checkbook for the first time, which was something I was able to share with my own parents, because as an immigrant, that wasn't something that we were used to. So home ec was one of the ones that life skills that are applicable, and I definitely would use that. On to myself, I am a very proud product of a small business. I wouldn't even be in this country if it weren't for a small family restaurant that my dad and his cousin operated here near Burien for a number of years. So I grew up in a small business environment. I saw the challenges that our family had as a kid growing up, and it inspired me to get into finance to support small business entrepreneurs and dreamers to have access to the American dream and economic development. So I've spent 20 years helping folks access small business capital, whether it's SBA programs, federal programs, loans from small banks. I also work with a nonprofit business developer that did business lending programs and financial planning to communities that lack access to finances. And now I also serve King County as an economic development manager, where I've served on the front lines of the COVID impact and recovery. So I'm super excited to be able to have the opportunity to continue to serve and invest in Burien like I have with being your commissioner on business and planning. So thank you for this opportunity.
Perfect, thank you so much. Next is Jimmy Mata. Jimmy, again, reminder, 2 minutes to answer the question and introduce yourself. And your question is, if you could choose 2 famous people to have dinner with, who would they be?
Well, I think it would be Carlos Santana for music, and it's 2. So what would be the other one? Well, I think it would be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, let me just introduce myself. My name is Jimmy Mata. I'm currently the mayor of the city of Burien. My parents came here. They migrated here from Guatemala in 1974. I was born in 1975. So I'm very privileged to have been born in this country, the United States of America. Not only am I privileged to have been born here, but also to serve in a political office where I get to see the challenges and the successes of people. I currently am seeing the successes of my children. As we all say, we all come from somewhere. And where's the best place in the world but the United States of America? We have flavors from around the world. And so I am very pleased to be here. I want to thank the people that have contributed their money, making sure that this that candidate still continues to exist, and the work that South Seattle Chamber of Commerce is doing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Next candidate to have 2 minutes to introduce themselves and answer an icebreaker question will be Mark Dorsey. Mark, if you could be guaranteed one thing in life, what would it be?
Oh, without a doubt, happy. I just want to be happy every day. I want to be grateful. That's by far what I currently strive for. So if I can have that, I'm good. And yeah, that would feel good. So just want to say hi to all of the other candidates. I believe this is the first time that I've had a chance to see and chat with each of you or interact. So hello and congrats. So a little bit about me, especially for all the people that couldn't make it due to the technical difficulties. My name is Mark Dorsey. I am a resident of Burien for 26 years. I have 3 children that were born and raised in Burien. They went to Gregory Seahurst Elementary, St. Francis of Assisi, Sylvester, Highline, and also Kennedy. So we did the whole Highline schools. I also coached all of my children's sports teams in Burien for about 14 years. And that was through all different sports. So that's soccer, baseball, basketball, volleyball. President of the Gregory Seahurst Swim Club for 6 years, that's in Burien. MC of the St. Francis auction for many years in Burien. I served on the Highline and SeaTac Meals on Wheels for 12 years. I guess what I'm trying to convey to you is that I am a citizen of Burien. And before I even decided to run, I was invested in Burien. And I have a 26 years of experience in volunteering for my community. I love Burien. I am running for office because I didn't like the way that the direction of our city is going. Rather than complain about it, I decided to make a change. So I'm excited to jump into the ring and to bring my business acumen, 30 years of founding 2 companies into City Council, and to bring some common sense and to help make my city better. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Next candidate, again, 2 minutes. Introduce yourself, answer this question, is Sarah Moore. Sarah, if you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you be and why?
Did you ask that on purpose? Because there's so many animals I would try to be. I would really like to fly, though. I've always wanted to fly, and I would like to be, I think, okay, this is going to sound funny, but a turkey vulture, because they can soar for so long and just go on a full stomach and circle around, just seeing the world from a really high up point of view and get some perspective on things. So to kick that off, my name is Sarah Moore, and thank you for inviting us to this event. I'm a 19-year resident of Boulevard Park. I live in North Burien. I've raised a 19-year-old UW freshman, Noah, here, and also a 31-year-old wildlife biologist, Madeline, who is here. She returned to Burien after going to a lot of other places and chose this to be her home. My background is in STEM science education. I managed the animal exhibits, including the Butterfly House at Pacific Science Center, for many years. But my last year has been spent very differently, managing an isolation and quarantine facility for people exposed to COVID-19 and who do not have a secure place to isolate. I believe these 2 sets of experiences highlight a lot about myself. I'm focused on logical solutions, excited to share what I know, but I'm also motivated by a belief in public service and responsibility. I believe very much that individual action is important and that local governance makes a profound difference in community well-being and in people's lives. I'm running because I hope my service can make a positive difference. I give my time to Burien, volunteering overnight in our homeless shelters, sitting on our Parks Commission, co-founding and co-chairing ACLU Burien People Power. I'm a member of Burien People for Climate Action and co-founded Burien White Center Community Support Network. My commitment to Burien is strong.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Next candidate, 2 minutes to introduce yourself and answer this question is Crystal Marks. Crystal, what is your favorite tradition or holiday?
Oh my goodness. I used to say Christmas, but since I met and married my husband and my kids have grown up, I've really loved seeing their theatrical takes on Halloween. So decorating our house for fall, getting them excited about trick-or-treating, all of that has been kind of the best thing ever. And Burien's a pretty safe community to do that in. So by way of an introduction, my name is Crystal Marks. My pronouns are she and her, and I am the current deputy mayor of Burien. I hold position 7 on the Burien City Council. And as a 6-year now Burien resident, I could not have been happier at my family's choice to move back here to where my husband spent his formative years going through grades K through 12 in the Highline School District here in Burien. I'm a mother of 4, 1 child at Hazel Valley, 2 kiddos over in SeaTac and 1 up in Edmonds, because that's just fun. Kids ranging from 6 to 14 years old. So I am running for re-election for almost the same exact reason that I ran for election 4 years ago, which centers around public safety. I feel that everyone has the right to feel safe in their community. And for some people, that means safe from crime perpetrated against them in their homes. For some, it's crime perpetrated against them as they are unfortunately living on the streets. And I think it's our job as a city council to make sure we are also taking care of our business community by making sure that when we see things like home or public safety that needs to be tackled, we're seeing it in a holistic sense, meaning we're seeing every aspect that contributes to public safety for these businesses. I'm really proud to have supported public safety enhancements throughout my last almost 4 years on council through the law enforcement assisted diversion program, supporting the storefront police presence that we have in downtown Burien that will be going into effect in October, and a lot more. And I look forward to continue to serving for the next 4 years. And I'm so grateful to be with you tonight.
Fantastic. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to all of the candidates. We will now go into our lightning round. Again, feel free to use the Facebook reactions. Feel free to use your own reactions, whatever you'd like to do. Quick questions here. First one being, do you support using B&O tax to help cover infrastructure improvements? All right, thank you so much. Do you think that your current city policy does enough to support small business? Does your city currently have public parks that could support or accommodate camping or overnight parking? If so, do you support the ability to do so without a permit? Overnight parking, yeah, perfect. Thank you. Do you support funding for CTE and career pathway programs to help address our education and workforce needs? Do you think it's important to include broad public outreach and engagement when making policy decisions? And last one, do you or will you include the business community as part of outreach and public engagement when considering policy? Perfect, thank you. And now on to our issue question. Homelessness and encampments is the top issue that people want to hear from you on. And so I will ask that question, which again is, what role, if any, should encampments play in addressing homelessness in Burien? Again, what role, if any, should encampments play in addressing homelessness in the city? And we will go reverse order. So Crystal, since you had the opportunity to introduce yourself last, I will now ask you to answer this question first. And you have 1 minute. Thank you, candidate Crystal Marks.
Thank you. So to start off, excuse me, I am someone who spent over 6 months of my life experiencing homelessness when I was a child. I was 8 years old, living in my mother's car, under a bridge in Aberdeen, Washington, in my friends' houses, in their garage, sleeping on the floor. So I know what it's like to go through that experience. I think a encampment is a sign of a failure of society as a whole. It is not something that people tend to say, wake up one morning and go, you know what, I'd really like to develop these issues that lead me to this place and to move myself into this situation. However, I believe that it does take time to move people from an encampment into services that benefit them, and that takes trust and communication with a government that may not have been helpful to them in the past, with a police force that they may have seen as adversarial. So I think the role of the Burien City Council should be to equip our community service organizations to address these encampments in an ongoing relational manner, as opposed to just continuous sweeps that do nothing.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Sarah Moore, same question.
Thank you. And I want to start this by centering this fact: when people are housed, we all win. I don't consider encampments to be a solution to homelessness, but a symptom of it. We can all agree that no one should be sleeping outside in Burien, and that's why I support a housing first approach to combating homelessness. Housing first is proven to be the most effective solution to ending chronic homelessness. I don't, however, believe in sweeps of encampments. Sweeping people from place to place is not a long-term or a short-term solution. Regardless of how we feel about it, it simply doesn't work, and it harms the people it happens to. Housing first does work. Housing first is the most effective tool we have in our toolbox to address homelessness, including people who are homeless and who also have substance use. Most folks who are unhoused will begin to recover from this, regardless of the behavioral health issues, once they have access to housing. It does take time to do, and I believe that we need solutions to get us there.
Thank you. Mark Dorsey, same question.
Thank you so much. I think that what I support solutions that address specific homeless challenges. And I think that when we get into a habit of throwing around a buzzword of homelessness and throwing a solution towards it, but the problem is that being homeless, it's in a lot of different buckets. We need to identify, exactly what is our homeless situation that we have, and then we need to go after and address each and every single challenge within there. So whether it's drug abuse, whether it's mental health, whether it's somebody that just lost their job, there's a lot of different ways that we need to help them in order to ensure that they succeed. So I think it's really important to dive down into the details of why these specific groups are homeless to begin with, and then provide solutions for each of those demographics.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Jimmy Mata, same question for you.
All right, well, thank you very much for that question. Now, when we talk about homelessness, we really got to talk about it in a humane way. We have to make sure that we're bringing everybody to the table. We can talk about what we can do in the future, but let me talk to you about what we're doing here today in Burien. First of all, we knew that we had some gaps in our community. We don't have any housing for children and women in our community. And I want to thank, some of the leadership that we've had in the city. We have Mary's Place that provides housing for children, housing for single women, housing for families. On top of that, we have some housing for women who, for one way or another, need housing. We don't know what their story is, but we have housing for them. Now, let's just talk about DESC, because that's something that's on everybody's mind. People that haven't been there or been involved, because I've been involved, making sure we figure out what do we have in the community. Really don't understand that what we're providing is a life-saving measure.
Sorry, Jim. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Hugo Garcia, please, same question.
Thank you. Appreciate the question. As someone who's chaired both the Burien Small Business Commission and the Planning Commission, I've worked on understanding the dynamics of homelessness and its impacts. And I know that to address it, we need to build homes. Our goal of 144 housing units a year has to be met. And we have to supplement the building of homes and multifamily housing that we for years and decades had not looked to invest in, with the services that are needed, both job creation services and programs, so that people are able to address poverty, we need to get to the root cause of homelessness, lack of opportunity. But at the same time, the state over the last few decades has not invested as much on mental health. And we're seeing regionally our small cities having to now step up and do that with programs like the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion, which is a program that the city has currently started. I want to make sure we expand on systems that provide mental health support, job placement support, and case management, not just 1 or 2 days a week, but evenings, nights, 7 days a week. So it's all about addressing it from a multifaceted place, building homes, addressing mental healthness, and no encampments.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And again, really appreciate all of the Burien City Council candidates for being here. Thank you so much. And you, our community members, we are so grateful for the time that you took to be with us here today. Thank you to Amazon. Thank you to Boeing. Thank you to Baker Commodities, Scott and Teresa Schaefer and South King Media. We are recording this so that those who could not join live will still be able to watch the program later at their convenience. Again, thank you so much to all of our elected officials and all of our candidates. We really, really appreciate the time that you took to be here, and of course, all of our partners. It is as important as ever to come together as a community and learn how we can do our part and support our local businesses, keep our economy strong and thriving, and participating in local elections is one of the most important things that we can do. Thank you also for your support to continue to support us. You can donate directly to support our work. You can do that at bit.ly/SSCC support or check out our website for more information. Even a small donation helps us to continue to serve our community. And we are so grateful and deeply appreciate any and all contributions. Please don't forget to check out our calendar for more upcoming events. And thank you to staff as well. This was an undertaking to pull off, I'll just say, and thank you for your patience. I know sometimes maybe the timer was a little off as we were trying to switch screens and things. Really appreciate your patience and your grace that you gave us tonight. Thank you. Have a great night. Don't forget to vote. Appreciate it.